The Cincinnati Bengals were not a team I thought would be 0-3 to start the season and needing a legitimate, realistic style rebuild, but yet here we are. Now, ironically enough, I say not expecting them to go 0-3, but everything that has happened so far has been very predictable. Joe Mixon gone, we expected this rush attack to be a below average rushing unit, and it so far has. Of course, pretty damn good against the Commanders, but ultimately still lost, still not elite by any means. And of course, on offense, we expected Joe Burrow to kind of get back into things a little slowly, and that definitely has been the case, but they've heated up a little bit lately, and of course, Ja'Marr Chase is starting to look a little more Ja'Marr Chase-like. Obviously, this duo, when they're hot, are one of the best wide receiver duos in the entire league. Tight end Mike Gesicki has been, viable. He's never, it's been a while since he's been like a true, top 10, top 15 type tight end, but he's definitely good, right? He's definitely a good player. Now, the offensive line, I cannot say the same thing for. Obviously, on paper, you think the tackles are decent. They kind of are, right? And Trent Brown is one of those guys. However, it seems, based on what we've seen, it kind of looks like it might be a pretty serious injury, which is really detrimental to this Bengals team. They have Amarius Mims, who's obviously dealt with some things himself, but in general, it looks like Mims will probably have to fill in as the starter going forward. As like I said, I think Trent Brown, that injury seems like it's going to be something that might sideline him for a while, maybe even the whole season. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll be back next game. Who knows? Interior, I really don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it. Defensively, another side that you expected what you expected. Not the worst linebackers in the world. You expected Logan Wilson to be by far the best, which so far has been the case. And then you expected Trey Hendrickson to continue being, his underrated self, and then having iffy corners. That's basically exactly what's happened so far. This Bengals team, even though maybe 0-3 wasn't the exact start we were expecting from them, has played almost to the T of what the projections were, at least early on in the season. Obviously, there's still potential for them 0-3, going against some pretty good on-paper teams, I will say. Dropping that Commanders game, definitely before the season, you would have expected them to win, especially since it's a Week 3 game. Obviously, Week 1 was, Week 1 is just a weird week. It's always a week where you can't judge anything in the NFL on it. You can win 50-0 against the best team in the league, and you're the team that misses the playoffs and they win a Super Bowl. It just doesn't matter. But the other 2 weeks, they also still haven't been that great. Obviously, looking at a rebuild standpoint, we will need to rebuild this offensive line. Obviously, they're going to need to do that in real life as well. Tight end, we definitely need someone younger going forward. And then running back wouldn't hurt. Zach Moss and Chase Brown, they've been good enough in real life, but in Madden, we need someone that I can actually develop. Ja'Marr Chase, obviously long-term. Joe Burrow, obviously long-term. One of the only good things they got going for them there in Cincinnati. And then, of course, T. Higgins, not superstar dev anymore, which is a little troublesome, but at 25, should also be the long-time standing wide receiver too. And then, back to that defensive side of the ball. Outside linebacker, maybe a replacement for Pratt. Both safeties, possibly. DT for sure. Left end, probably. And then I'd assume a corner or two. No, this is a team that I wouldn't say even in Madden necessarily needs a rebuild. You got that franchise quarterback. You got 2 franchise wide receivers, technically. You have an edge. And, you just got a lot of good stuff going for you. But in real life, they're 0-3. And like I talked about, I want to do every single team realistically this year. And it's Ryan's probably going to hear this and be so pissed. But it was very close to being a Cowboys rebuild. But yeah, it's that'll be for another time. Maybe this weekend. Who knows? But trying to knock out some of the good teams that aren't playing so well right now before they turn things around. If you want to turn my sadness into happiness, maybe think about leaving a like on the video. If you end up enjoying it, maybe subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise stuff on the channel. If you like rebuilds, you're definitely going to like it around here. So think about those things as we think about, is this really a good rebuild to do? Because we might either do really well or do really poorly. I don't think this is going to be one of those average. It's either really good or really bad. There's no, decent. It's boom or bust, 100%. All right, we have $67 million. Did they not actually do, T. Higgins was the guy that actually, played on the tag, no? You almost never see that. But a 5-year 82, obviously in real life, he's going to want more than that. He's pretty much a minimum $20 million per year type of guy. But we've always talked about it. We're going to play within the parameters of the game because while I might be underpaying him, there's definitely other positions like DT, that's 90 overall that's getting $40 million a year, So you got to play within the goods and the bads. And I got to say, if Trent Brown actually is genuinely going to miss significant time, it would make sense to not re-sign him, especially at that $20 million per year evaluation. I would like to keep him, though, and move him over to left tackle or something like that. Very athletic, when he's actually healthy. So, I mean, I guess I'll keep him and make it happen. I'm going to make the argument that he's not going to be out for the whole year. I'm going to make the argument that he's going to miss some time, but not for sure. We don't know in real life, but being carted off the field, I'm pretty sure he was, if I remember correctly. Not a good sign, especially for a lineman. It's, I guess maybe not especially for a lineman. Maybe the opposite, because as a bigger dude, the more simple stuff can actually hurt a lot more, because obviously you're toting around a little more weight. But yeah, I'm just going to say 5 weeks. I'm going to actually put him in now, because it's been 5 weeks. A lot more than 5 weeks, to be fair. I'm making that argument. I don't care. I'm making the call. But the problem is they paid Orlando a lot of money too, didn't they? So we have 3 times. I guess Mims, the big guy, is going to be playing that Alex Boone guard role to the playoffs. I think we took care of all the re-signings we needed to. See what we have going for ourselves. Looked pretty good. We actually, had a lot of wins in a row, and yeah, did enough to make the playoffs at 10-7. Looking at the rest of this conference, you have the Steelers, with that hot start, apparently falling off hard at 7-10. The Jets at 11-6. The Bills at 12-5. The 9-8 Dolphins. Chiefs at 15-2. Chargers at 10-7. I mean, I'm not completely against most of this. I don't think the Titans are going to finish that high up there, but for the most part, I don't hate the way that kind of lined up. But let's take a look at our win-loss. I don't really have a horse in the race, as far as a rebuild goes. I think a good rebuild trumps all, and a good rebuild doesn't have to be just winning. Good rebuild, has a story to it, like a path, if you will. So I don't really care if we win a Super Bowl right away or we don't win one. We're just going to play it by ear. And we got 3 receivers at 1,000+. This is kind of a scheme that I do go to every once in a while when I feel like our offensive stats aren't great, but I don't want them to be Chiefs great. I will say this is pretty damn good. Offensive line, really good stuff, obviously. And we look over at the defense now. 2 guys out, 109 tackles exactly. Sacks. Will admit we're very bad, though, especially when you got a guy like Hendricks in there. Wilson should go up in dev. Dax Hill should go up in dev, which would be both really big dev ups. McPherson, 17 for 20. He's obviously not playing like his usual self. Kickers are just so up and down. It's crazy. Mahomes wins MVP. And did we win anything? Rookie of the Year with Jermaine Burton. Definitely not the guy I would have had on my list, but all positive dev ups are, going to be welcome by me. I'll tell you that much. I don't care who the player is. If they had a good year, I'm going to be happy about it. Automatic dev up is great. Got the Texans. It's 85 versus 85. And here we are on the road against the Texans, who've been a little shaky themselves in real life. 14-3, 14-6. Still 14-6. Looking pretty good. And that's gone. Touchdown with the 2 points. So it's all tied up. The Texans up by 7 now. And I don't know what our offense has been doing, but they allowed the Texans to score 21, 28 unanswered or something like that. And it wasn't the defense. It was constant turnovers. There must have been a lot of picks or fumbles in this one. A lot of drives where it fizzled out right at the end. And yeah, Joe Burrow throwing 2 picks is not good. It's not good. Joe Burrow with 8 rushes, telling me that either there was no run game or he was struggling to read the defense. Gesicki was actually pretty good. I'm disappointed, though. I mean, I'm not saying the Texans don't deserve that win, but we had a really good chance. A really good chance. We were leading by 8, and then it just, fell apart. Just constant drives almost all the way into scoring range. Turnover. Every single time. How many turnovers are you going to have when you're in position to score? I mean, the Houston Texans don't have that kind of, defensive backfield to be, not just dominating, honestly. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase should be cooking them, pretty easily. I know Lassiter's had a pretty good start, but still, I think we still should have just cooked up. The Ravens win the Super Bowl over, of all teams, the Rams by 11. The Rams, I guess, year 1 aren't the worst team in the world, but still, not a team I would have pegged as the Super Bowl contender for the NFC. Jermaine Burton, by the way, is a superstar dev before T. Higgins. He got a star dev for the season he had, and then superstar dev for the Rookie of the Year award win. Pretty impressive. Then we look at the defensive side of the ball where hopefully, wow, I just turned into Owen Wilson. Logan Wilson, ironically enough, and Dax, or neither, I should say, went up in dev. Very disappointing stuff. How is Logan Wilson not going up in dev? He had 6 picks, I believe, as an off ball. Maybe they thought he was an edge rusher. It's like, he didn't have any sacks. He sucks. And then also, we did notice, though, that Dax Hill went up high in overall. Like, he went up high. What kind of XP? Like, he must have had some XP boost. Pro Bowl appearance is obviously a nice one. You can see another one there. 5 interceptions, another 9,000 XP. 75 tackles, 10 deflections. That was 26,000 XP. Yeah, he had some pretty good milestones, and obviously that led to a big glow up on the season. Very good man coverage. Man-to-man usually gives you a little more in the zone, but surprisingly enough, he is just pure man coverage. I was thinking about maybe finding a way to put him back at, safety at some point and starting DJ Turner, but I don't know if that's going to happen here. I guess Cam Taylor-Britt may be playing some safety. This team has been moving safeties to corners more than Green Bay has, and that's saying something. There's been some moves. Of course, they're seemingly doing it at a little bit more of a successful rate. Definitely still have, basically, for the most part, the needs we thought we did before the season started. So we'll get into those when we do. Like I said, with Mims, though, Alex Boone, guard type. I mean, he's obviously very athletic, but we got Trent Brown and Orlando Brown. I can't really start all 3 tackles at the same time, can I? So Mims might just move to right guard, and we just call it a day from there. But we have 20 negotiations. We have $37 million. Dax Hill needs a contract. That's definitely something we just pay. $21 million is probably more than he'll ask for per year. Gesicki was good, but he's 29 years old. He's just getting worse as the seasons go on. You might just think of, let's play it safe. We had a pretty good offense, but I like to I like to aim higher. BJ Hill, he's good, but I think we can aim higher there as well, and that's basically going to be the plan, to do better instead of being complacent. We do have a little bit of money we can spend in free agency, but I don't think it's worth it. Nick Chubb, that would be an interesting name drop, without a doubt. That would be interesting. The Debo is a free agent. That's why you kind of need to get rid of him in Saints franchises if you're using them. Shaheed's also a free agent. Got a lot of Saints guys in there. I mean, we need DT pretty bad. I would like to get Nick Chubb if I could, but it would be a 1-year deal. But you almost argue that like this is actually setting us back, because we should probably just go for a rookie running back and develop them. But I'm going to throw my name in the hat. 1 year, 12. If he wants to join us, join a potential Super Bowl winning squad, go for it. If not, I mean, we can always pivot. There's always other players to go for. I would also like to have like a backup plan at tight end. I'm not willing to pay Juwan Johnson anywhere near what he wants, but I would pay him a 3-year 9, which is $3 million per. He's not going to accept it, but you never know. Somebody teams might just not want him, and boom, we got ourselves a new guy. We do need interior. Ooh, Stromberg. How good even is Stromberg? Because he's never really developed for me. He's pretty good finesse blocker, but we kind of need a power blocker in the interior, don't you? And then defensive tackling, your best bet is really BJ Hill again, which for $10 million per, I do not think is anywhere near worth it. Edge is a problem too. Another freaking Saints player there, Willie Gay. Yeah, this team needs a lot of work, so, I don't hate trying to go for like 1 or 2 players here in free agency and see where we're at. I mean, do we have any other safety options? Quandre Diggs obviously regressed quite a bit. Micah Hyde, his speed's actually all right. Could just bring Von Bell back, though, as well. I do a 1-year deal for 5.3 if Bell wants to come back. We got 3 targets. I think those are going to be our names. I doubt we get Chubb, but you never know. And we don't. Von Bell back on a 1-year 5.3. And obviously, Juwan is a done deal. All right, here we are in the draft. What pick do we have here? 21? I think 21 is fine. We have a bunch of 1 to 2, so it'd be pretty unlikely or unlucky even to... Wow, look how many DTs went in a row. 4 of them. To not land somebody we want. The Titans with Bayern was actually... He lasted a lot longer than I thought he was going to. We also have a running back here, Dwayne Hendricks. Do I really want to go first-round running back? Very athletic, but more of a receiving back, which... I don't know. Obviously, with running backs, it's a very weird position. We also have Ellington here as a 1 to 2 as well. It's a weird position because even though someone might not have good juke move or, stiff arm truck ratings or whatever, they can still be in the high 70s because there's so many good running backs with those high 70s, low 80s that if you obviously compare an 82 overall to a 78 overall, if you're comparing those grades, technically it does have to be way lower in EA's eyes. I still don't know if I really agree with the way that is designed personally. You also have a really athletic tight end. What do you want to do, though? That's the question. Do you want to bolster up the defense, which definitely needs work, or do you want to work on the offense, which, if we got a tight end, got a running back, we might be set up, right? We might be perfect with our line, or lineup, I should say. You also do have a DN, which would be great as well. A power move, 6'6". Did not participate, but we know that left side, outside of strength, which is a little, concerning. He is athletic, great speed, good excel. He's a good player, Brian Van Dyke, just based on his athleticism and the power move. What dev is he, though? Is he normal? I don't know. You got safeties. I think safety is always a position that I'm like, yeah, I want one, but I would prefer to get the other positions drafted first. It's a tough one. We need so many things that I think you almost have to pass on tight end. Ellington in the second round maybe is worth it. How good was Randolph again? A finesse. I think you wait for Randolph in the third. Do I trade down here and maybe try to land the tight end Hayden, even though he's only 6'2"? I do like the D end as well. I go Van Dyke because he looks great. Brian Van Dyke, script. Ooh. He's hidden, though. 69 true talent in the first round is not great, but hidden dev, that's a win. Next pick's 21. I'm not really sure what we're going to do here. If they're running backs there, I suppose I might have no choice because the value seems good, but I'm not really feeling it, to be honest. I think he's decent, but he's obviously not the fastest. And more importantly, we have other needs. These other backs are pretty good, too, though. You can see a bunch of different power backs there. Could even go UDFA Graham and might find yourself a decent player. Tight end's still there in Hayden. I don't know, man. Do I go with the tight end? We need DT next round then, and we don't have O-line at that point. Kevin Hayden, 2.58. Athletic, pretty good ratings. Not great ratings, but pretty good. Is that enough? I think that's enough, Kevin Hayden. Oh, it's definitely enough. True talent 5. Hidden dev. That's a good pick. Thank you, Lord. Almost didn't go with him. Almost was like, you know what? Do we really need tight end that bad? And I will say one position we definitely need pretty bad is DT. But I'm being a little greedy here. I'm moving down the list a little bit and then trade up. I'm playing with fire here. Trade up to the Raiders. I think that's already... Oh, maybe we should go one more pick because the Jaguars make more sense. They already have a draft pick. Watch out, my luck. Oh, I seen DT and it scared me. I think our guy's name is Randolph. Let's go to the Jaguars. With 2 draft picks, you would assume they're more willing, right? Could we do a 6 next year? 5th is 6 next. There you go. I mean, it didn't cost us too much to move up to that spot. We still have our 4th round pick. Might be able to get a running back. Maybe even trade up for an O-line. But with this pick, we are going to be taking the defensive tackle, Alex Randolph. Automatic starter just based on the fact that we have no one else. Please be halfway decent. 76 is not good. Either is normal dev. Ooh. I fell for a finesse. What can I tell you? Could also use an off-ball line. But I mean, there's so much we need. There really is. But what can you do? I'm going to move to the 4th round. And then if somebody's there that I think is worth trading up for, maybe we do it. But at this point, we're kind of like, we need so much. The more we trade, up, the less picks we actually will have in the end. And unfortunately, basically everyone I would have wanted, on that side of the ball is gone. Basically gone. We have some safeties I might take a look at, but yeah, I mean, we did get, our safety back, I suppose, so we don't technically need to get rid of them, or get a replacement. If Forbes is there, I might go with them. We'll see. I also kind of want a running back as well. And I think I will be taking Miles Forbes. Decent hit power, decent zone coverage, athletic enough at 6'1". True talent, 123. Oh, he's hidden. Okay, we'll take that for sure. I mean, he's probably going to be star. But hidden dev. All right. Very intriguing. The next players we have are running backs that are day 3/UDFA. So we're going to go into the 6th round, and I'm just going to hope that the UDFAs are there, and then I'm just going to move down until we're down to just 1. Oh, we're already down to just one. Graham. Okay, we're lucky that he's even there. I'm going to trade up to the Panthers, I suppose, and maybe we get another sneaky little steal. Who knows? We use a 7th round pick to move up 20 spots, and with that, we're going to take a running back. Not a bad draft. I think we, did more good than we did bad for the most part. Amari Graham, B's across the board. Not the fastest. 4.48 is good, but the left side is saying he's not. A-trucking is a DUDF to A-type. If we get lucky, we get lucky. 83 is pretty good, though. Normal dev, unfortunately, but 88 basically across the board for athleticism. Big problem with this draft is just like the real-life Bengals, didn't really do anything in the draft. Oh, look at the tight end. For the offensive line position, which is definitely a bit of a letdown, but what can you do? Oh, yeah, Van Dyke was hidden. I went into this. He's not really that good. He is pretty raw, but I went into this thinking that he was normal dev. I don't know why. I was like 72 overall normal. That's brutal, but he actually is star development trade. Not bad. Then, of course, you have the tight end, Kevin Hayden. I got to compare to the other tight end because we had a choice between the two, sort of. Could have went with the other one higher, but be interested to see how much of a bullet we dodged or how much of a mistake we made. But the fact that the guy is a high overall with, I was about to say star dev probably, he's worth it. DT, very raw, but we've seen that even as a 71 overall, you could easily develop very quickly. Very good finesse, not bad block. As far as the 3rd round pick goes, I've definitely seen worse. Miles Forbes, another hidden development trait player. No block shed, basically no play rec. I'm almost guaranteeing star dev, but it would be really nice if he was higher than that because he is pretty raw. And his dev is, unfortunately, star. Kind of expected it. And I don't know why. 37's kind of growing on me here a little bit. And then we have the running back who's only a 71 overall, so yeah, I don't know about that. But then again, look at these ratings. They're so good. Script. He's our Ramondre Stevenson. We're starting him. Let's take a look at the NFL. Let's take a look at the whole list. Seen a couple of 81s in there, actually. The tight end Byron, he was actually on my list as well. Oh, wow. 85 overall for this corner for the freaking Colts. I mean, that's definitely generational. I don't even need to look, right? That speed, that press, catching, jumping, man coverage, all of it. He's obviously, X factor. There's really no point in looking. Byron, I'd be curious about, though. 81 overall is good, but he's only 84 speed. Is there anything actually truly elite in here? Some pretty good catching ratings, I suppose. Really good blocking ratings as well. No aggressive catch, though. No run after the catch either, I don't think. But let's see if he actually is generational. He is. Superstar X Factor. And here's the other tight end we could have went for, and he was normal. Travis Cooper, very similar to our guy, but normal dev, not hidden. And look at all the safeties that went. Look at that. 6 straight safeties to start the 3rd round, which is unbelievable. They were all really good, too. Those must have been all the 1-2s that somehow fell. That's pretty impressive. We didn't get off-ball linebacker either. Damn, we really did fail there, but you only have so many draft picks, and we did land some pretty good players. Just, we still got holes. Bro, why did I forget about Myles Murphy? Why did I just, completely forget? We drafted another Myles Murphy, but slower. Why did I forget? We got to try to get some value out of him. We got to trade Myles Murphy off for, a 2nd-round pick or something. He has all the potential in the world, and I've just, completely forgotten. Also, Hubbard needs to go, too. He's making a lot of money. He didn't really do that well, though, so I'm not really sure where we're going to get for him. Let's trade both of them off in one package. There's got to be a team out there that really needs edge that's willing to trade. Marshawn Lloyd, somehow not a Packer anymore, as a Charger. I mean, I could use the pick. I could use the running back even, but I don't see why a 3rd-round pick wouldn't be worth this. They're going to take both of them off our hands for a 3rd round, which in a user league, you're paying more than that. So, I mean, I'm just going to chalk that one up to me just completely forgetting about a player and at least getting some value back. All right, here's the squad. I can't really say we upgraded the offense too much. I know we have a more vertical threat at tight end 1, Frankenstein, some would call. But he is only 6'2", but he is obviously fast. Running back 1 is, the same old run-of-the-mill. You got a slow power back that maybe is okay. But wide receiver 3, obviously Burn had a great year. He's only a 78 overall still, though. But this is a pretty good trio of receivers. O-line didn't really help ourselves out, but with Mims at right guard, I suppose it's technically a more complete line than last year. And then defensively, we do have the new left end Van Dyke. Maybe he wins Rookie of the Year. Maybe Randolph wins Rookie of the Year. We have Miles Jack at left out because I just couldn't draft a replacement for off-ball. And then battle the starting strong safety with Forbes, and Bell is the backup. So we have a little more depth this year, but we didn't really make a leap at any of the starting positions, in my opinion, other than maybe right guard and tight end, technically. We're having an iffy start to the season. Jamar Chase needs a contract. That is like low as hell for the money we've been seeing these days. Dax, that's fair money for us. Hendrickson, not bad. Taylor Britt. We'll see what happens long term if that's... Man, I think that's good money. Geno Stone. Man, did everybody just like line up their contracts at the same time for some reason? That doesn't help you guys out by doing that, just so you know. It just makes it where I don't feel as comfortable, so I'm going to be stingier than normal. You know, let's do a 6-year 192. Thank you. So 31 years old, 32 years old. He'll be here till Dax will do a 6-year, what is that, 69? Figured it'd be a little bit more than that. 6-year 72 is probably what we're going to need to come up with. I would love to do a 2-year for Hendrickson. I really don't know if we're going to be able to do a 3. Nice. Thank you, Hendrickson. One of the positions that's really kind of tough to get those contracts down. 3-year 21 for Cam Taylor-Britt. That's, I mean, you decline that too much, and I might be like, yeah, maybe I don't need you anymore. Also, let's take a look at Geno Stone's ratings before we decide to keep him, because we do have that safety we drafted. I do like Geno Stone a bit here. We'll see. Red interest. I don't think I'm willing to do more than a 3-year 24. Okay? I mean, you make it easy on me, and you find your way on the team when you didn't really think you would have. And then Jermaine Pratt, how good actually is he as well? Don't really want to replace 2 off-balls in the same year, but I might not have any choice. Money's getting a little thin, but more importantly, you know, the talent is getting a little thin too up the years. I don't know, dude. I think we're going to have to let him walk. I would have done a 1 year, but I mean, 3-year at that age, probably not worth it. Our running back got 2,500 XP, but not a dev up. If we win, we should be back in the playoffs. I feel good about it. It's the 6-10 Bears. If we lose, I'd be devastated because we would miss. I would more than assume. Even if we win, we might be out because, well, it doesn't really matter because we lost and missed the playoffs. The 7th seed was 10-7. Like I said, might have still missed anyways, to be honest. But yeah, that's devastating. Joe Burrow, number 3 in yards, and Higgins at number 2, which should be a dev up for him. So still seemingly a monumentous season. Somehow, though, missing the playoffs. I get it. It's the conference, the division. It's all that stuff. But I feel like we're better than this. Am I crazy to think this? Joe Burrow had a great year, and we still couldn't make the playoffs. Of course, the rookie quarterback, let's just not talk about it. Higgins was unbelievable. Yeah, he's going up in dead for sure. Might even go straight to X Factor. Chase was still pretty good. Burton was pretty good. And Hayden was pretty good. So, not a bad year at all. It's just didn't make the playoffs. So, I mean, Wilson should go up in dev. 9 sacks for Randolph and Hendricks. 8 for Van Dyke. What a year there. Randolph is probably winning Rookie of the Year with those tackles for a loss. Picks, Dax Hill with 5. Another chance at a dev up. Will he get it? I don't know. And then McPherson has been ass. I don't know what else to say. He's just been terrible. Missing 7 out of 20 kicks is terribly bad. Josh Allen winning MVP. Come on. Rookie of the Year. Yes. Defensive Rookie of the Year. QB at 3. Best running back. Definitely not on the list. Best wide receiver, obviously, number 1, Jamar at 7. O-line, no. D-line at 6. Linebacker at... A little surprised not to see our guy there, to be honest, just with those tackles alone. Picks, got Dax Hill at number 3. And then kicker, obviously not going to be on the list, missing that many kicks. Still, I was expecting to go right into a playoff game, and I forgot. This good of a team, this good of a season wasn't good enough to get one of the berths. I really can't believe we didn't at least win 10 games. It is the Bills and the Cowboys. Let's actually take a look at our ranks real quick before we go. So 6th in yardage on offense, 8th in yards on defense. The points must have been just all over the place. 13th in offense. Okay, that paints a little closer of a picture. And then 11th in defense. I mean, those are playoff numbers in my opinion. I don't know how that's not playoff numbers, but you have the Bills and the Cowboys. See who wins this one. Very disappointed. Very, very disappointed that we were not able to get into here and do some damage. So far off to a little bit of a disappointing start. As you see, the Bills do win the Super Bowl 15-2, by the way. 45 messages. We'll get to those in a second, but let's see the dev ups. T. Higgins, X Factor. Damn, I'm a little surprised he didn't go to X Factor. I'll be honest with you. Thought it would have been dev up for the wide receiver of the year, and then dev up for the actual season he had, which was unbelievable. But nope, just got a dev up for the year he had. Not wide receiver of the year. Tight end? Nope. Running back, nope, but he is a 78 overall, so maybe something, there. 7 overalls up in 1 year. Randolph went straight to superstar, though. Hill went to superstar, and then Gina, who we re-signed, went to superstar. Somehow Logan is still not superstar, and I think that was really it for DevOps. Oh, no, Hendrickson. He went up to X Factor. I just saw that there last second. Not bad. Pretty damn good year, especially for the defense. Yet, still couldn't get in. Bit disappointing. Let's see what we got. OC, DC, and media. Well, that's going to be interesting. Why don't we just have a group meeting? The OC and the DC wants to call up. Why don't we just all have a damn powwow? Oh, here we go. Let's see what we get. Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase? This is an interesting one. I'm just going to spam it, and then whatever happens. So Jamar Chase wins it. I think that actually is probably smarter to do anyways, because wide receiver is going to regress quicker than QB will. So, yeah. Wait. Was it not? Okay, I guess that truly was random then. It literally stopped on Jamar Chase. I don't know what that... You know what? I actually do agree with this. Work on throw power. What's his motivation? And to impress your teammates, no one expects you to do that. I mean, I think he's a team player, right? Yes, I was about to say. I mean, thankfully, EA finally did something realistic in their life, kind of like paying attention to the press conferences and the way Joe Burrow handles himself. He was obviously going to be a team player, but EA is EA, so you just never know. I gotta say, honestly, Trey Hendrickson, he's got less time to develop. He's actually regressing as time goes by. This is another one. I feel like he's... I don't know. I don't really know of Hendrickson as much, but I also feel like he's another kind of reserved person, no? I don't feel like you can become a sleeper without being that. You know what? I don't like those upgrades. I'm just going to say, do what you got to do anyways. So not bad. We'll get some nice upgrades there as we made the right decisions when talking about their motivations and all that. So that's good. I wonder what Joe Burrow's throw power is going to go up to, like 90? It's pretty impressive. If so, I mean, that's massive. Make a spot. I forgot about this crap. I'm going to guess win the draft. See if we have a gem. Because to be fair, last time it wasn't even in the correct rounds. And we said, hey, we got this gem right here. You want to take a look? And they're like, yeah, it is a gem. You're right. It's like, okay, thanks. I appreciate you for agreeing with me. Let's take a look if we had any retirements. If anything, morale players, probably not starters. And that's the case. Oh, yeah, Andy Dalton. What a name drop. Negotiations, I'm pretty sure we took care of. We have more money than I would have thought, so you could make a play for Jermaine Pratt if you wanted, but I think it's smart to save it. Where is this team, finding all this money, though, by the way? Because, Joe Burrow got paid. We just paid Jamar. We paid T. Higgins. We paid Trent Brown. Orlando Brown is already paid. Yes, we're losing Kappa now, but he was paid, and we were fine on money. Defensively, we paid Dax. We paid Hendrickson. We paid Stone. We paid a lot of these players. I mean, who? I guess more of the D-line when they need contracts? I really don't know. This team is actually in such a good financial situation. I'm not really sure how, but I'll take it. Makes it easier on me, I suppose. Let's take a look at the free agent class. You got Brock Purdy in there. Joe Tooney. Did you get crazy with Joe Tooney? Actually keep him at left guard for the first time in a while. I might lowball him. Even though I probably shouldn't. This is the kind of contract that, would have maybe made all the difference in real life where they're struggling with those positions. We do need off-ball pretty bad. That's probably where we're going to be focusing hard in the draft. But if I can, pick up a position or two in free agency, why the hell wouldn't I? Ivan Pace is still young enough to maybe even make a play. But I think, we talk about all this money. I'm going to have to take a look at the future contracts because there's no way we're coming out of this rebuild this clean. There's going to be a contract that I'm just not thinking of, and it's going to cripple us. It has to. There's no way. So Joe Burrow's money is pretty steady, so that's not going to hurt us. Orlando Brown and Trent Brown we're going to be losing, which in this case I'm actually not mad with, so we're actually gaining more money back. Logan Wilson will be able to save money from soon. I mean, I honestly don't think there is. I think we're kind of just free to do what we want, so yeah, I mean, let's try to win a damn Super Bowl. Let's get Joe Tooney, have the best one of the best offensive lines in the league. Let's go a little crazier. Nobody wants him right now. Let's go 1 year 22. That should straight up just get him with a 5. With no interest on other teams and a straight up 5, that should work. Tyrann Mathieu, I mean, we don't really need a safety that bad right now, so I'm not going to do it. Could go Batonio, put him at another position, but I think we're fine. We probably put Mims at left tackle. I wonder if we can actually get rid of Orlando Brown now. Because if I can, I probably will. Trade him off for a 5th round pick. We could. We definitely could, and then just move Mims over, because we're going to lose him anyways, get some value. A lot of you guys have been saying, you want me to get more value out of our trades? Well, here's a chance. Sears, I mean, I don't really need... I need a linebacker, man. Anyone got linebackers that they're willing to part with? Or part from? I mean, this Bears team drafted a guy they're not even using. Hancock as a starter. I mean, I'm willing to do this. Oh, they don't have any money. They're broke. All these teams are broke, though. Damn, there's one linebacker I'd love to have, but obviously they're not going to trade him off. The Cardinals have now traded for a guy that Kyler Murray will never be able to see over for a 5th-round pick. And once again, don't get me wrong, I could get more for him, but I think that's a realistic trade. You can see the way they were offering, too, that it was probably a 4th or a 5th in value. And even then, once again, they don't even trade realistically. They give you whatever the hell you want. We need another interior guy because Mims is going to be moving over, so we could go Batonio. I will say Batonio is a little overpriced, though. So I'd like to go a different route if possible. Then we do need a lot of linemen too, because Kappa's still a free agent. I mean, it's low ball 1 year 5. Damn, all these teams have the same idea in mind. I want a Christian Harris here, but we're all thinking, a little too costly, 10 mil per year. I do like Christian Harris quite a bit though. Yeah, I really don't want to pay. I mean, we can afford to pay. Let's offer him that money, but do like a 3 year instead. 3 year 30 is not terrible. Is it a 4? Okay, I mean... Saves us, especially since we have to basically replace our whole interior of the line. Could go pace as well. Could just take the whole damn squad. Who would have thought that we could afford to be this active in free agency, though? I personally didn't. I definitely didn't. I'll take both. If I could take both, I'll take both. Grip. Those are going to be our 4 guys. I think they're pretty, well-balanced players. I think we're for sure going to get Tooney, which is a great signing. And then we'll likely get Harris, and then the rest is all up in the air. Yeah, we get Tooney and Harris. We lose... I already forgot who the hell it was. It was Pace. That's who it was. Kappa, what a steal this would be if we actually got him. Nobody else wants him, though, so we're in the clear for now. But yeah, not a bad couple of signings there. We still need a linebacker, but it definitely is a less of a blow. Lineman or 2, linebacker. And honestly, we're not really in that bad of a spot outside of that. Right? Obviously, future linebacker, Logan Wilson replacement. Corners, I think, are in an okay spot. They're in a good enough spot. Safety's in a decent spot. This would be future-proofing when we don't even really have those needs just yet. So, yeah, just a bunch of offensive linemen and maybe a linebacker again. Not even maybe, for sure. Running backs up there, too, I suppose. But don't absolutely need one. 78 overall, 23-year-old is not bad. All right, we have pick 17 in the draft. I mean, there's really not a glaring need outside of 2 offensive linemen and a linebacker, which usually you don't need those in the first round. Ooh. First round lineman, huh? First round lineman. Wow, that guy look pretty good, though. I can't really say for sure that guy's generational. He looks really good, and his left side looks strong. Would I really say that he's like that guy, though? I don't know. We have Metcalf now. He looks pretty good. Definitely not as good as the other guy. And then we have McDonald. I kind of, didn't really look at these guys because I completely forgot where we were in the draft. And, we were a higher pick because, well, we missed. There's some pretty good linemen there, but do I, see them as so good I gotta grab them? I don't know. You got this linebacker, doesn't really look that good. You have a different linebacker, Crisp, who I would imagine is a pass rusher, which he is. He's really slow as hell. I could go one of those linemen for sure. Definitely could, but what about running back? Ooh, round 1 running back in Terrence Scott. Pretty athletic, but that round 1, if it's a normal dev guy, 77, 78 overall doesn't really do a whole lot. Probably rather just go Craig later on and see where we're at. He's solid looking, not the fastest, once again, like the other guy we drafted, but I don't have to risk a whole first round pick on him, and a high one at that. But yeah, we have a bunch of linemen that are 1 to 2 later on. I think that's the smart play. Put some DTs on the list, why not? Linebackers there, corner to maybe play safety, because I guess we could do better than Geno, but Geno is a superstar now, so it's not as relevant. Do you go linemen? Miller and Metcalf both look pretty good, I gotta be honest. But if they're just like, star dev, normal dev, who cares? I will say Miller does look really, really good. Is he superstar good, though? Like, is that superstar good? Like a C to F pass block, a D pass block power, a C to F run block power. He's good, but I'm going to trade down, I think. We'll have to look. We'll have to see if I made the wrong call, but I would lean towards he's a really good player, but also just not enough there for me to be like, yeah, let me just give up pick 17 real quick for a lineman that, I technically don't need a tackle, right? I need an interior lineman anyways. And the Rams are giving me a pretty damn good trade, so I'm going to take it. They're giving me a third round next year on top of it, so that is a good trade for me. Let's see what the Rams end up doing. Might even be that tackle, and it is. So, we get to see directly that it was the team that we traded with that got the player that we were probably going to go with. So if they wanted him, obviously they needed to make a trade up because I would have potentially went there. Wait, is that not the guy? Oh, it just glitched out. I was about to say, I seen Miller. I was like, okay, I'll go for him. And you know what? Do you take that running back because he's still there? I think it could be a pretty good case to make. Do you not make that case? I think you do. Personally, I think you do. Ron 1, he's still there. Terrence Scott, different type of running back, so even if he's not the guy, he's at least, a different style back. Terrence Scott's going to be my guy. True talent, 9. Hindev? Okay, I would assume is going to be running back 1. Because even though the guy we did draft, he's a decent overall, he did have a really bad year. There's no doubt in that. I don't think we need to make an actual selection anymore. Running back was kind of the big need that we needed to go a little higher for. What about Spiegel? It's another pure tackle, though. I didn't really get to scout him as much, but pretty damn good pass blocker. He looks good. What are these lines? Is there any, I'm not really seeing actual, Wilcox is definitely the guy. No. I might actually take him. I might take Spiegel here. I want, a true tackle for when Trent Brown's gone. Charlie Spiegel. Oh, he's true talent 7. I did not expect him to be that good. If he's true talent 7, Miller might actually be generational. Actually, they weren't the same positions in fairness. Damn, okay, that was a good pick. I wanted a tall player, and I looked through all those players outside of that day 3. They were all kind of short. I did not expect that pick to go that far, by the way. They were kind of short, okay. We need a replacement for Trent Brown in the future. Maybe not just yet. I do like Rutherford a lot here. I think Rutherford is going to be the guy we go for. So we're going to go Rutherford, and then we're probably going to go Jones. We'll have to trade up for a linebacker. Is this who I really want? The run block's a little iffy, but that's usual. We're going to go for Rutherford. True talent 43. Ooh, okay. That puts a little damper because I don't see Rutherford as the future anymore. That kind of sucks. You know what? We're close enough to our pick. Let's just go to our pick. It's got to be somebody there, right? Linebacker, O-line, whatever. That kind of sucks. That's a little bit of a setback. What about linebacker? We only need 1. There's a lot of linebackers left, so do we not just take Sidney because he's the last 1 or 2 in the 3rd round? Boom. James Sidney. True talent 46. At least he's hidden, though. We have 27. We're going to slow some until those linebackers are gone, I think. I actually don't know if I have a preference, so I'm going to, after I see 2 more linebackers, I'm going to stop and then take a look. Porter was one of the guys for sure. Might even get to our pick before then. I don't think Farmer, maybe he was. I don't know. I'm going to take a look. There's a lot of linebackers going. Still have 2, 3 to 4s. What are you looking at? Got catching, interesting ratings. It looks to me like you can't really tell for sure, but Sampson looks pretty damn good. I think Spate might even be better, actually, though. He's got that tackle rating. Yeah, we're going to trade up for Spate. Oh, my God. Hopefully we have a high 4th, because otherwise I'm going to have to trade up, because I want that lineman, obviously. If he's hidden, then we'll have finished a damn near perfect draft, in my opinion. We do have a 4th-round pick. It's high, but it's not that high. Oh, we're only 1 pick behind. Okay, thank God I didn't overtrade. I didn't really pay attention to that. 7th-round pick to move up 1 spot. It is what it is. That would have to happen in real life. If I'm trading up, even a spot, they got to get something back, right? John Jones, different sport. Welcome to the team. Please be hidden. True talent 15. Hidden. There you go. All right, that normal lineman we got, he's at least going to be depth. And, oh, snap. I just completely made a mistake. I got completely distracted by his true talent grade, and I forgot we were supposed to draft Spate. Oh, my God. Well, hopefully Jeff Hubbard's the guy. 48 true talent, normal dev. I completely just, I don't know. I just zoned out. I saw that true talent. I'm like, let's go for the true talent. Yay. Wow, somebody check me. And I got to say, even though we don't really need a wide receiver, I'm going to go Starks here in the 4th round. He's really fast. Could be one of the superstar types. 98. And I think he is. Hidden dev. Don't need him at all. He's wide receiver 4, but when you got true value, you got to go for him. I genuinely can't believe I just completely just blew it. If Spates is good, I'm going to be so mad. I can't steal him. Obviously, that's who I wanted, but I can't steal him. It's not really fair to them, even though it technically is, because they should have never had a chance at him. Obviously, in real life, that would never happen. You know, you accidentally put the wrong name on the card, they'd be like, boss, you sure? UDFA, why not? It's 5th round. Jimmy Truman, 107 true talent. Decently fast. Oh, that's pain. That would have been a perfect draft. Even if Spates is normal dev, he's going to be a good player just based on the fact that he's athletic as hell and has those great potentials. And even though I don't need him, do I take the other fast wide receiver? Why not? Trevor Mims. Didn't grab him first because he is 23, and I was smart to. See, this is why I have a fixation on the age. The youth was the better of the two anyways. And he has longer time to develop. This is why I have trust issues. I don't want to lose that lineman, but I also don't want to, lose Spates. I should have had both. Oh, the running back 77 overall, though. At least something positive. The tackle also 77 overall. Terrence Scott, automatic starter. What's that, dev? Can we get superstar? Can we get lucky? Looking like Austin Eckler a little bit. Star dev. I don't know what his ratings are. Does he have Austin Eckler? He's not really that good at catching. 39, why not? Give me Willie Parker vibes. Charlie Spiegel. He might even be the new left tackle. And we just keep Mims at right guard or something. Actually, how fast is this guy? Maybe we'll just put him at right guard. Star dev. 63 speed. He's really not that fast. I don't think he's really left tackle material either. We'll see what we want to do there. Sydney. We need somebody to play center. I guess Jones. John Jones. I got so sidetracked by the name and the fact that he was around 1 true talent that I just completely blew it. I can't believe that. Also, we do want to take a look at that tackle we passed on, obviously. How was the linebacker? Yeah, he's 73 overall, whatever. It didn't turn out as good as it was supposed to, but you know what? We've got ourselves a future starter. Just be happy that we're, where we are. Is he just going to stay middle linebacker, actually? Because I don't think we actually physically have a middle linebacker. Either way, those are the players. Let's take a look at the left tackle that the Rams traded up for, and then obviously the Spates that we needed. And this is why I don't do it. Maybe he is superstar, who knows, but 73 overall, he's lower than the guy I took in the second round. I was really debating it. I might even have to cut some of that out because how long of a decision it took for me to not go for him. There was another lineman, too. Was it McDonald? I don't even know. 75 overall. Metcalf, Hart. If it was any of those guys, they're pretty low overall, so maybe they're generational, but probably not. And then let's look at Spates. Where was he? Spate. It is 74 overall Spate. He's normal dev anyway, so, not really much lost, to be fair. I'm fixated on something that actually, in the end, didn't really matter. Back from off-season workouts, Coach. How did it go? Let's see. You got some throw power and some break sack. I'm a leader, so I made progress. Not as good. Oh, God. Oh, man. 1 to throw power and 1 to break sack. Was it because it was the quality of upgrade we were asking from him? Because I thought we seen a +3 to power, throw power, no? Either way, at least it's something. And then what is... Oh, crap. Steal. Who was a steal? Can I just, make it all up? Somebody on offense, to be fair, we had 2 offensive players that were high. Which position group? I'm going to say the running back. They're probably going to say no because he was a first rounder. I should have said tackle. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter where they were taken or when. It's just that they're a good overall. Okay, we'll take it. Not really. I guess 77 overall at the end of the... No, it actually was the start of the second. Never mind. That actually probably is a steal. That's a pretty good pick. Either way, I'm happy. And how ironic it is that Joe Tooney's back to left tackle again. Again. Because we actually got Kappa from free agency. That 1 year 5 ended up working out. We have all these rookies. We're just going to end up starting the hidden dev. And then Sydney will play left guard for the future. And we'll see what happens, going on. Mims might go back to right tackle. As long as we got a good overall line, I don't really care who plays where. What is it, season 3 now? Last year was kind of a disappointment. We got a new up-and-coming running back with Scott the rookie, though. Maybe wins rookie of the year, goes a superstar, maybe higher, who knows. Wide receivers, by far the best full unit in the league. And then center, obviously we're not going to start the one guy that isn't star plus on the team. Hidden, Dev for 2 linemen. I think one of them we know is star. The other one could be superstar. We didn't check. But Hendrickson already regressed. So I'm glad we only did a 2-year deal. So going forward, safety, edge, and linebacker is really our biggest needs. But we've definitely built up the squad a bit. Maybe you go corner as well because Cam Taylor-Britt, he's the best number 2 we have. But also we could do better. Maybe he plays safety and we draft corner instead. I don't know. But 86 overall still feels low, even though we have all the potential in the world. Pretty happy that Trey Hendrickson was the guy that we talked to, because he's already regressed pretty hard. We have him for 2 more years. Not a great upgrade, but it's better than nothing, and those mean more to a guy that is going to take longer to get development upgrades. We also have this OC storyline. Let's see what we got here. Ready for the position battles. Oh my god. All right, we got some re-signings, $84 million. Jordan Battle definitely gets a contract. DJ Turner really hasn't developed. I feel bad because we should have started him over Cam Taylor-Britt, but I think that road has passed. Honestly, could see a need for corner no matter what we do with DJ Turner, but I think because the price is low, we're going to offer him that contract. We have depth at least, and then Jordan Battle we're definitely going to pay. But in general, Cam Taylor-Britt, speaking of, could become the future starting safety for us. And then Joe Tooney, if we're going to keep him, maybe it's worth it. I'll try to lowball him now, like a 1-year 22, just because he has a lot of interest. But if not, I'm going to wait till he regresses. Okay, I mean, it's not that wrong. It's like 2.5 mil less, and he's acting like we just murdered his whole family. Like, we didn't do that. Relax. But everyone else we're fine on. Mims will need a contract, but might even do the 5th-year option if it's anywhere near that cheap. And here we are in the playoffs, 12-5, a lot better than I thought we were going to finish. I think we were like 5-4 at one point, and almost won exclusively all the way across the board. A little bit of an iffy start, like I said. Not maybe iffy, but 4-3. That's not the best, but then a really good finish. Won like 4 or 5 games for every loss, and probably very close to getting a bye week. Or were we actually in that category? Number 5. Okay, the Ravens, please. In fairness, we were like the 3rd best team, 2nd or 3rd best team in the AFC. It's just we happen to be in the same division as the number 1 seed Ravens. Looking at Joe Burrow, probably MVP numbers. I mean, those look like MVP numbers to me. Terrence Scott was not good. Burton was great again. Chase was pretty damn good, and Higgins was pretty damn good. And then Hayden had a bunch of touchdowns. Looking at the blocking, I mean, very good. I've seen a lot worse than that. Randolph, 11.5 sacks, 9.5 for Van Dyke, 8 for Hendrickson, 6 for Jenkins. 2 interceptions, 1 for Battle and Turner, and then the 2 for Daxon Hill. McPherson, way better, and then Robbins, really good. It looks like McPherson needs a contract soon, huh? Joe Burrow is all the way at number 4. I thought he would have won it. Didn't even get into the top 3. That's a little absurd. Couple of close calls for winning awards, but not actually winning any of them is a little disappointing. But here we are in the wild card round, taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here we are, end of the game. 10-7 Jacksonville Jaguars are already up 10-7, 17-7. The Jaguars are cooking us alive, 20-14. I mean, we're keeping up because the defense is allowing us to, but the offense is really just struggling to get points. There you go. It's a 7-point game. 4th quarter, it is all tied up, but Jacksonville is driving, and they drove down very easily. We are answering back easily, though. We got to get a stop. Come on. Come on, defense. We can't get a stop. 4th and inches. Is the clock running, though? I think it might be. It's not. Okay, I mean, it's going to be a field goal game with 51 seconds left. I mean, I might have to actually, play this because we're entering year 4, and we haven't even sniffed a Super Bowl. I'm not saying the Bengals are a Super Bowl team in real life, but the starting point they have in Madden, it shouldn't be too hard for us to get there. All right, let's see what we got for ourselves. Higgins on the outside, looking pretty open is what I think. Stiff arming out of bounds to the 47. I mean, Joe Burrow played pretty well. 2 picks kind of sucks, but 5 touchdowns, all that other stuff, definitely more good than bad. Really good start as well. Hayden really doesn't look like a tight end, I'll be honest with you, but probably makes him even more dangerous than a tight end sometimes, especially with how fast he is. It's a really good throw to the outside, and there goes Jamar Chase after the catch, breaking a tackle to the 22-yard line. Huge play. Maybe we will actually score a touchdown. I've not played with an offense with this much talent in a long time. Might be looking at Hayden. That's going to be a tough one. Good try, almost deflected for a pick. So you're thinking to yourself, well, it's cheating. There's no reason why this team's going to win. It's because you're playing. And then you see stuff like that, and you're wondering, that's a dot. That is a dot. I mean, do we spike it? Oh, my God. 5 seconds left. It takes 20 seconds to get 15 yards down the field. I mean, do we have a chance here from the 3 to take just one little shot? I'm afraid of throwing a pick, though. This is a risk. Ooh, 1 second left. If he would have caught it, he might have been in the end zone. But yeah, let's kick that field goal. Let's not do that. They're gonna ice us. Was that a practice kick? It went like 2 feet. Of course, I'm gonna actually sim this. I was going to in the first place, and I actually clicked field goal. Hit the field goal from point blank range. Is that us? Oh no, that's a GG. Our defense hasn't made a stop all game long. They literally score a touchdown on a drive. They only needed a field goal. Yeah, just kind of like real life. No defense. I mean, just no defense. Just at all. Just unfortunately, just a lacking of defense. We made them look like the greatest team on turf. So a wild card round loss is going to be how our season ends. Really disappointing. Entering year 4, obviously a very magical year for rebuild. It seems like, I mean, if you win a Super Bowl in a rebuild, it seems like that is the vast majority of when you're going to win it is year 4, is like 60, 70% of the time if you're actually going to win a Super Bowl or not. Obviously, you're not winning 60 or 70% of the time in general, but, of those Super Bowl wins, that's what it seems to be, in my opinion. And then, of course, see the Ravens, our division rival, win the Super Bowl. Glad to root for those guys. Yay. Offensive dev-ups, Burton. He's an X Factor. X Factor slot. That's just how we run. That's how we run things around here. Trio of goons, if you will, and then defensively we see the dev up of no one. Not a single player, not even Hubbard. That kind of sucks. We know what we need. Sort of corner, sort of safety, sort of linebacker. Not even sort of, for sure linebacker. Logan Wilson's gone, I think. So, yeah, just gonna keep on rolling on. I mean, we've done what we can. Mims as a guard shouldn't cost that much, but Mims as a tackle, which is probably what he's going to be playing this upcoming season, is a little more costly, I think. So I actually am going to do this 5th-year option, and he's going to move to right tackle, I believe, with Spiegel at left tackle. Actually, Tooney retired, didn't he? I didn't even see it, but I'm pretty sure he retired because I don't see him in the re-signings. Let's take a look at what we got. Tooney, did he retire? He does. Damn, one more year would have been great because, like I said, year 4 is that kind of magic year. Negotiations, though, outside of those guys, I think that's all we wanted, right? A lot of the other guys regressing, and we have replacements anyways. We can get a new punter. The guy was better, but he's easily going to regress. I just know how this rolls. All right, $90 million. We don't really have too much to re-sign, I don't think, going forward. Could go for one of these tackles. Ellen Jenkins may move in that spot. Aleem McNeil, nice to see him finally develop a little bit. But yeah, I don't really think outside of a tackle we're going to spend any money. I kind of like where we're at. To be fair, I didn't actually pay attention to Hendrickson's overall. He's definitely up there in age, and he was regressing beforehand, so you would assume he's only going to continue to regress, which he's actually an 88 overall. I'm surprised. He regressed harder last year than he did this year. Like, am I crazy? I feel like that's the case. He didn't regress at all, actually. Forget anything. All right, that's goated. That is why I'm glad we went with him for the offseason focus. But let's take a quick look at the team, see what we think we need to replace. Actually, first things first, team salaries. So Hendrickson, so edge for sure, linebacker for sure. Might even get rid of Logan Wilson like now. DT, kind of. So DT, edge, O-line, linebacker, safety. I mean, we can afford everyone too if we really wanted to, so... I mean, this has been a pretty damn good rebuild. We just got to actually get over the hump. Those playoff games, man, the Bengals in playoff games, it's just brutal. But, yeah, looking at this, I think that's where I would stand. Spiegel at left tackle, Mims at right tackle. We already have linemen, technically. We don't even need one. We do. We do need one more. Sydney's already starting. It's just these backups roles are throwing me off. Oh, wait, no, we aren't. Wait, yeah, they threw me off twice. They're just replacing each other. Yeah, we need one lineman, which is fine. We could easily get that. And like we talked about, linebacker replacement for Logan Wilson, and then probably a safety. But even then, we don't need one just yet. We have Geno Stone and Cam Taylor-Britt's an 85 overall. So yeah, I mean, we're in a really good spot, and future-proofing wise, it's not really much to do. Could we go tackle anyways, though, just to keep Mims at guard for another year? Probably. I might actually go Laramie Tunsil. I kind of like, he's a little more interested in us. I suppose you could go Ronnie, who doesn't have any, outside interest at all. That actually probably is the safer bet. Injury concerns, sort of, but that's going to be our role. 1 year, $24 million. Let's see if we get him. And we do. There we go. So our O-line's actually already set. We have pick 23 in the draft, and this is not the deepest draft at the positions we need, but I think there, for the most part, is a couple of players at each spot that we can select. As far as what we want to do in the first round, I kind of want a future-proof edge, which I don't think there's currently a guy that we can do that with. Most of the guys are DT types or interior types. The only guy that really isn't would be Mr. Subtle, who only has a B power move, which is obviously a little concerning. Maybe corner, maybe safety. We'll take a look at what we got. So we do have one of those 1-2 corners. He's Bassy. He is a 6'4" guy, so probably not going to be an actual safety, even though he's kind of built to be one. You have a 2-3 that's more of a safety type. Do have a couple of safeties in general that we could also look at. 1-2. I mean, I really want edge more than anything. DT, future-proofing a position that I might not actually need to because I might just re-sign Jenkins. But edge, Hendrickson is going to be gone at some point soon enough. But I really don't like Subtle that much. What about this guy, McKee? Terrence McKee. He's 2.72. I can't remember. I know he wasn't that fast, but was he fast enough to be like, screw it? Was he? I think he was. 2-3. I mean, I think we could trade down to like 10 in the second round with that knowledge. And with that, maybe even land a safety, because a lot of those safeties we've been seeing fall more and more. And unfortunately, we're not really getting... I mean, don't get me wrong, the Eagles trade here is really good, but I just want to get to that, second round. I don't want to make multiple trades. I'd rather just get really good, lucrative value right now for that trade down straight up. And the Colts give us a pretty damn good trade. We end up trading our first-round pick, a 5th, a 6th, and a 6th this year for a 2nd and a 3rd and a 2nd next year around that, pick 10 range. They ended up trading up for a tackle, which, of course, tackles are very, very sought-after positions. Kind of need to make that move into that first round if you want one of those types of players. Do see some safeties here, ironically enough. Is our guy there? McKee is there. So, I mean, I suppose I kind of felt like he was good enough, so that's what I'm going to take as our future edge position. Pick 18, true talent. Unfortunately, though, normal dev. And we didn't even need to make a trade-up. Don't really know a whole lot about Terry's zone coverage, but I know his man coverage is good. I know he's fast, and I know he has a awareness. Good enough for me. That's all I need to know. True talent 20, and he's hidden dev. Safety could go either way with that dev. More than most positions, getting hidden for a safety this late in the second round is just a pure win, without a doubt. Of course, we have a couple of third-round draft picks. This is who the hell is this? He must not have been very good if I just skipped over him. I'm going to take Jamie Branch. Looks good to me. 61 true talent, normal dev. I don't care. Got myself a backup tight end. I don't mind. True talent, would look like it could have been great for all we know. With this pick, though, we're definitely going to go linebacker, I imagine. Do you have Aldridge, actually, the only 1-2 O-line? Yeah, I think that's sold itself. Only 1-2 O-line, 32. Oh, normal dev, man. Our next pick is 23 in the third round, but obviously we have a lot of trade value if we want to make it. So I think we're going to look at these linebackers, see who's the best, and make that play. Could go DT as well. Yankee looks okay, but definitely looks a little raw at the same time. But that finesse movie has looked good enough. A to C, you assume it's probably A. And then McPhee, A power move for a middle linebacker, huh? He's kind of goated, no? I would say him or Hayward. McPhee or Hayward is going to be our guy. And a lot of linebackers went. We're going to have to trade with the Dolphins to get the, basically, I think, final linebacker. Let's take a look at what we can do here. We don't have much for this year, but future-wise, we're not looking too bad. We have that extra second-round pick. Only moving up 6 spots, probably an overtrade, but I don't care. I just want that trade in, and we're going to take the best available linebacker. Might even be the only linebacker remaining that at least matters to us, at least. Cole Hayward, very good zone coverage, elite athleticism, block shit's a little iffy. Been drafting a lot of normal dev types like that, though. 73 true talent. Although this time actually hidden and really athletic. 81 change direction with 86 speed is pretty damn good. And we're pretty much down to our last two players. Smith, I think, had really good man coverage, even though he's 23. That was enough for me to be like, yeah, you make the list. F press, though, with man coverage being A. He is so weird of a player that I just want to grab him. I don't even care. I should have probably not grabbed him this high, though. 47 true. Yeah, I mean, he was a weird player. I don't know what they want from you because he's not a zone guy, so he doesn't really fit as a safety. Low speed, low jump in at 5'9". It's a weird player. What can I say? Those types of players stand out to me, and he's hidden. Could be a superstar for all we know. And we probably got ourselves a hidden dev punter as we got a C accuracy, elite kick power that's usually good enough for a generational or at least hidden. 54 true talent, and no, he's not even hidden. Okay. Still, though, our new punter. Take a look at that draft recap. How did we do? McKee was a really good overall. I thought what the big issue with him would have been is he would have been hidden dev, but really low overall. But it was actually the opposite. Will say ratings are very mid, but he is 21 years old. Future edge rusher, more than likely. Hopefully we can win a Super Bowl before we have to figure it out if he was good or not. Zach Terry, starting free safety, maybe even starting corner at some point, who knows. Better man than zone, another one of those safety types. Corner type as a safety. You're going to put him at free safety, 21 years, not 21 years old. Number 21, because I think that's a sick DB number. He, of course, is 21 coincidentally, but you know what I mean. And then we move on to tight end. He was normal dev. Jamie Branch, not bad by any means, but obviously I thought with that round one, he was going to be really good. He was decent. Not great, decent. And then Hayward, of course, automatic starter, right outside linebacker, as he actually has a pretty high ceiling, whereas Logan Wilson's, 77 overall and only going down from here. Actually is right outside linebacker that we needed for him. I don't think we even need to change his position. And then, of course, that corner, even though he's not a starter for us, still curious. Demetrius Smith, no press, no zone coverage, low tackling, not a whole lot of speed, but very good at man. It's a weird build. Dev's probably only going to be... No, he is superstar. Okay. I kind of had a feeling he'd be superstar, but I kind of felt at the last second that he was going to be star, and he was just going to be like one of those really big long shots, but fair enough. It's interesting. No speed dev upgrades, to my knowledge, to way we've, just not seen any. So 87 is going to be a little rough, but if you get the +2 to speed for cornerbacks from the coaching staff, that's 89. That's usable in the slot, I suppose. Still rocking the Cincinnati playbooks for season number 4. The offense looks pretty good. The skill position players, outside of maybe running back, which is, 82 overall, 23 years old, is actually not bad at all. Look very good. Of course, looking at the offensive line, Ronnie Stanley's the new left tackle, so constantly, putting a new left tackle in there. Maybe not the smartest move for, gelling together, but as far as the... overall goes, it's pretty good. Middle linebacker Hubbard, still normal development trade, but obviously a high potential, almost 80 overall before the season even starts. 23 years old. Gets a dev up, could easily be 84, 85 by the end of the year. Starting Terry, because obviously Geno Stone is going to be on his way out soon, and I think Terry has a way higher ceiling. Randolph and Van Dyke look exactly the same. I don't know why I didn't notice that before. What can I do about it? I can change their face, but what am I, a plastic surgeon? Let's see if we can win the Super Bowl this year. I mean, this Bengals team doesn't usually win the Super Bowl often, but this is a very good roster on paper right now, so there's really no reason to at least be in a good standing for it. Oh, damn, Cole Hayward, he actually got his breakout. He is now superstar development trade. We're having a pretty damn good year. It's now $99 million re-sign time. Can you really afford 3 wide receivers? That's the question I have. Chris Jenkins... I think you worry about the players you absolutely want to keep first. So Chris Jenkins, I can't believe I offered that much more on his base salary. And he said, nah, dude. Baker, I don't even know who that is, to be honest. Future contracts maybe are going to be a bigger problem. Because right now, the guys we have going for ourselves, not really that costly. Evan McPherson, he's been up and down. 2-year 12, any higher, I would definitely not re-sign him. Jermaine Burton, let's see what that season looks like, because we do have a really good trio, and I don't want to ruin a good thing. Definite down year, but still should be in the 800 to 900 yard range. $15 million per for that is probably worth it. Can we turn this into a 2-year? And apparently Cole Hayward has reached X Factor development right now. Wow, what a season he's had, apparently. Here we go, having a really good year. If we win, I believe we win everything. We're the number 1 seed, the division, all of it. Let's see it. Let's see if we lose and we don't win the division. I'm going to be so mad. Yay, there you go. Look at this division, though. 14-3, 13-4, 12-5. The Chiefs at 12-5, they actually beat us, so I don't know who got beat by them. I guess it doesn't matter because we won. As long as we won, we were in. But yeah, I mean, what a year. What an absolute year. One of the best years we've had for a realistic style rebuild all Madden so far, which I can say all Madden now because the game's actually been out quite a time. But let's take a look at our win-loss. Of course, look at the yards for Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Jamar almost got to 2,000. Unbelievable. You can see there's that Chiefs loss. But let's take a look at the stats and awards. Joe Burrow was unbelievable. Was it enough for MVP, though? Picks are a little high, but I would still say that's, unbelievable. Scott, still not really playing that well. Jamar Chase had 32 touchdowns. That's crazy. Higgins was pretty good. Burton was pretty good. Hayden was okay. O-line, Mims was solid. Jones was solid. Stanley wasn't that great. D-line, you have 14.5 sacks for Randolph, 10.5 for Hendrickson, 7.5 for Van Dyke, which is disappointing. 7 for Chris Jenkins, which I guess is understandable. Picks are kind of low, but a group effort was decent. McPherson's kind of back on his crap, but 4 out of 20 isn't the worst I've ever seen, obviously. And then Rudolph under 50 yards per punt makes him crap. So that's where I stand. Under 50 yards per punt in Sim, and you're terrible. Joe Burrow's MVP. Jamar Chase, Offensive Player of the Year. Rookie Award, Hayward. Defensive Rookie of the Year, he's already an X Factor. What a year he had. Joe Burrow, number 1. Wide receiver, obviously number 1 for Jamar Chase. O-line, John Jones, number 1. He's going to superstar. D-line, number 3 and number 6. This could be the year. This has been a great year. Some of the other defensive positions, though, not really getting it, but a bye week on top of it. Here it is, the divisional round. We're at 93 overall, mind you, which is ridiculously high. The Bills, okay? Let's see it. The Bills. Hoping somebody took out the Chiefs if we're to beat the Bills here. Right to left is us, and we're doing work. 21-0. Still 21-0. 21-7. This half has taken a long time, by the way. Our scores are so quick that, the clock really wasn't moving. Finally, another touchdown as the Bills are climbing back. And that touchdown will do it. We win. Joe Burrow, outside of the picks, had a ton of yards and touchdowns. Those 2 picks, though, pretty desperate. Regardless, though, we did do more good than bad. Run game was, awful, really. Jamar Chase did his thing. That's what he does. 32 touchdowns, though. That's got to be an NFL record, right? I don't think I would think a team has ever done more than, 25 receiving touchdowns. That even feels kind of high. All right, 2 things. We got to see who we're going to be playing in the championship round. It's going to be the Chiefs. I'm going to be sad. It's going to be what it is. The Ravens, not much better, to be fair, for us. Let's take a look at those stats and awards. We want to look at the record book, a season. Oh, it actually just shows you right there. Receiving touchdowns and yard. Oh, wait, the yards are beaten too? Okay, I thought Calvin Johnson got to 2,000. I guess I'm wrong, so that was broken. And the most receiving touchdowns in a season was 23. 32 is crazy. That's a third of being in the top 10 all time for one season, basically. So, 3 more seasons like that, and he's already a top 10 receiving touchdown guy. Obviously, you're not going to be able to replicate that, but that's crazy. Let's also take a look at how the Ravens got here. Obviously, we know they didn't have a bye week because we had the bye week, and they're mad because that was their bye week. Let's take a look at that Ravens team. Click the wrong thing here. Oops. Okay, let's not do this. I'm not having it. The wild card round, the Ravens over the Colts. Okay, so they played a team that's not that hard. And then they they took out the Chiefs, though. Yeah, okay. That's crazy. All right. We got to beat the team that beat the Chiefs. Here it is for all the marbles, the division and the championship all in one. Obviously, we technically already won the division, but they don't care about the title if they win this game, right? The title means nothing if they beat us to make the Super Bowl. It is a 21-all game into the 4th quarter, and they have the upper hand. No, they don't. And with that touchdown, that's going to be it. I think. It's getting close. Did we, have a pick 6 or something? It looked like they were driving down. But we'll take it. Joe Burrow technically outplaying Lamar. Was the rushing like? Yeah, you figured Lamar would get involved. The run game for us is useless. He's so useless. Of course, that Ellington guy gave me flashbacks because in our Cowboys rebuild, which was supposed to come out after this one, our AI drafted him. He was like normal dev. He's so bad. He's so bad. All right, Super Bowl. Who's it going to be against? It's going to be against the Vikings to beat the Cowboys. I've seen this a couple of times now. I've seen it a few times. Let's take a look at our potential dev-ups. Beating the Cowboys is clutch, though. I mean, I don't know if I really would like to play the Vikings over the Cowboys, to be honest, but I suppose on paper it's a little easier. Jamar Chase, 99 overall, looking goated. Defensively, Cameron Hayward. It's not Cameron Hayward. It's freaking Cole Hayward. Look at how good he is. After 1 year, 89 overall, X Factor. He just kept on climbing. I don't know what else to say. Was Dax Hill already superstar? I can't remember, honestly. He was, right? Yeah, he was. Some things I just can't remember, okay? What about the overall ups, like for the safety and whatnot? Terry, 81 overall, totally worth starting. Yeah, I mean, this looks like a Super Bowl-worthy team, right? Because you've got those names on defense. That's the big thing, I think, when you look at these Super Bowl teams. Whether or not they're elite on defense, they have the names, right? They have a couple of guys that you really have to worry about, and this team has those too. You have Dax Hill, who's a 90 overall. Randolph, who's a 90 overall. Hendrickson, who's 89 overall. You have the outside linebacker Hayward, who's 89 overall. You've got some really high overalls on this side, and then obviously you have a truly elite offense. 99, 91, tight ends 89, running backs 86, quarterbacks 99. You got 88 center, 90 right guard, 86 left tackle. This is a good team. Can we win a Super Bowl? Let's find out. All right, go to the end of the game for all the marbles. The Vikings scoring a touchdown right away, though. 7-3, 7-6, 13-7. The defense is playing a little bit better, but it's still giving up a lot of scores. 21-14. Right before half, they had a chance. They didn't get it. And this is looking like a little bit of a blowout now. Very close back and forth before. The Vikings are climbing back a little bit, and they're not going to be able to do it. The defense finally waking up. They were playing pretty poorly in the playoffs, yet the offense, the defense, they work together, and just like he's showing off there, it will be a Cincinnati Bengals Super Bowl win. Winning the games in the playoffs, hard enough. Win a Super Bowl, that is tippy top. Can't really get much better than that, obviously, and for a moment there, I was kind of thinking, this Bengals team, it's constantly showing it's super good, but we keep falling short. Are we ever going to win it? And with that bye week, we had the super, competitive conference. I was like, okay, if we can be the top of a conference that has all these teams in the 10-plus win mark, especially this division that was like 12-5, 13-4, us at 14-3, maybe this is the year after all. The tight end, Hayden, I don't know if it meant anything, but a play, 3-yard throw, I guess. Joe Burrow was pretty good, didn't throw that pick where McCarthy did. Rushing, Terrence Scott, still ass, but did have 3 rushing touchdowns, so give him some credit. Jamar Chase, 168 yards with 2 touchdowns. Hawkinson, 2 touchdowns for them. Darisaw gave up 3 sacks. Wow, Trey Hendrickson truly is elite then, if he's given that up. Jonathan Jones, 1 interception, and then McPherson missing another kick in big games. I don't like it. And of course, before we call this a rebuild, a little bit longer than that Cowboys rebuild, spoiler alert, let's take a look at the actual roster. We see 99 release, 99, it's easier to just say 99 short route, medium route, deep route, spec catch, catch a traffic, catching, almost jumping, almost juke, break tackle, change of direction. He's a freak. He is a freak. He is insanely fast. Why would you not want him? I don't know. We got to draft him more in fantasy drafts. I got to do another fantasy draft rebuild or guide or something. I want Jamar Chase on the team. He's goated. T. Higgins, though, also insanely good. A 90 speed, 96 release. Basically 90 across the board type of guy with insane catching. You're basically getting yourself a slightly smaller Mike Evans, obviously. And then we look over at Burton, because he actually played a huge factor in this one. This is probably our best trio of receivers we've seen in a while. Can't believe he developed well. Short route kind of sucks. If you could switch short and deep route, I would say he's almost the perfect slot receiver. Fortunately, you can't, though. So some good and some bad in there, obviously. Then we look at the tight end, Hayden. Mr. Kevin Hayden. Frankenstein, some would say. Ridiculously fast, giving me like Vernon Davis vibes, honestly. Just a little bit shorter and a little bit slower, but really, really good nonetheless. And man, Vernon Davis is one of my favorite players in the league. He was. And That's as a Packers fan. It's, as a Packers fan, it's hard for me to talk about the Niners without having PTSD. Amarius Mims, really good except for finesse blocking. So him moving over to guard, it might seem really unrealistic and stupid, but the way he developed into a power blocking guy instead of anything to do with finesse, he makes more sense there. Alex Boone, that's all I'm saying. He's Alex Boone. And then some of the other guys I don't really care too much about. They're either CPU generated or just old as hell. Zach Terry, the free safety, he just got here, but also pretty damn good development. 80 zone coverage, despite the fact that he started off as a better man safety than zone coverage. Then we have Mr. Jordan Battle, who I kind of forgot about in year one, but he came back on. Really good hit power, smart player. Zone coverage is not the best, but 82 is good enough. Then we look at the rest of the defense, where we see Hubbard never got to star, which is kind of crazy. I say never, but it's only his second season in the league. But it's crazy because Hayward gets to freaking X Factor. During the season, he got to freaking X Factor. It wasn't even like an award win situation. He just got that dev up from being good throughout the year, which is ridiculous. Of course, man and zone are amazing. Blockshed needs some work, but very good player, obviously. Totally worth the draft pick, and, it worked out tremendously. And then Christian Harris, just a guy that kind of fell under the radar the entire rebuild, but not a bad player by any means. Helped, win for this team and has a Super Bowl ring to show for it. Defensively, we do see Daxton Hill as a 90 overall. Probably going to be pretty good in the man coverage. Yeah, not much in the zone. Really does truly make sense at cornerback. Let's take a look at cornerback 2. Cam Taylor-Britt, I think going to be quite the opposite if I'm not mistaken. Getting up there in age a little bit. Hasn't really developed in a while, right? He's been 85, 86 overall for a while, it seems. Really good zone corner. Very good speed, obviously. And then speaking of speed, we want to see Mr. Turner, who really didn't develop, never really had a chance. He was in the slot the entire rebuild. Really good zone coverage, which is a little weird, to be honest. Can't really do much with that, though, because we already have our safety set. And then defensive line, Trey Hendrickson, even at the age of 32, about to be 33. I don't know if that regression would have hit yet, but still really good. I mean, obviously really, really good of a player. Had himself a hell of a Super Bowl there. Darisaw gave up 2 sacks to him. Then we have Van Dyke, who's an 85 overall. Still really young, though. Plenty of time to develop even further. He's giving me vibes of Hendrickson. Kind of similar speed and excel. Obviously a little bit bigger, but still. Chris Jenkins, a guy we re-signed to a 5-year 90. Really good at everything. This is why, start those DTs young and develop them into pretty damn good players. And then we obviously have the final player, Randolph, who was basically our best pass rusher, Alex Randolph, with basically 90 everything, except for strength. I'm telling you, these guys that aren't high in strength, they develop the best, at least at DT. I'm not sure why. They just do. Kicker, punter, Rudolph was terrible. Tickling McPherson because he is kind of like their real-life kicker. And that's pretty much going to be it for this Cincinnati Bengals rebuild. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate getting support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. And if you have a team you want to see next rebuilt, whether it's a challenge rebuild, a fantasy-style rebuild, a realistic rebuild, fantasy draft rebuild, whatever it is, let me know in the comment section below. I mean, there's plenty of teams that I could have on my mind, but I don't really have one fully in mind at this point in time. Maybe the games would have given me an idea like, okay, this team's really bad still. Okay, let's do something about it. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Should be a Patriots franchise video tomorrow, which would be the playoffs. And yeah, hopefully come back for next video. But until next video, see ya. And once again, shout out to the lovely members of the channel. If you guys want to become members yourself, there is a join button next to the subscribe button / channel button. And all the details should be in there. Anyways, also, thanks for watching. See ya.